freeze. Go.
We want to welcome you all to the worldwide Meher Baba family meeting, live from Mehrabad, India. We are about 5 minutes down the hill from the sacred site of Avatar Meher Baba's Samadhi tomb shrine. We who live here are in a very fortunate position because we get to meet all these people who come on pilgrimage, many who have met Meher Baba, and we are fortunate to hear their stories, and we'd like also to bring them as guests here so that they can share their stories with you. We also have Baba lovers who share their Baba stories of how they came to Baba or their time with the mandali. We're most fortunate today. Dr. Gadekar has been the guest before here at Mehrabad, and he is astounding story. His whole life has been with Baba. His father was one of Meher Baba's mandali, and it's really quite interesting. In the 20s, in the early 20s in Baba's work, Baba wore this calmly coat even during the hot Indian summer for many years, maybe 7 years or so. At the same time, and he wouldn't take it off. At the same time, he wore a pair of chappals, sandals. And even though they would fall apart, Baba refused to wear any other, so they had to keep repairing them and repairing them and repairing them. Well, those sandals were made by Dr. Gadekar's father. And
Correction.
oh no,
Grandfather.
your grandfather. Oh, correction. I do. Thank you. His grandfather in the 1920s made those chappals that Baba wore at the same time he wore his comely coat. So we have, of course, we don't know why Baba, he seldom explained why he did what he did. But Dr. Gadekar has amazing stories of his life being with Baba and his family's life. So we're going to just turn it over and let him talk.
Should we start with the prayer?
Oh, we like to always start with the Master's Prayer. Meher Baba dictated a prayer that we call the Universal Prayer or the Master's Prayer. And what it is Baba said he's come to bring our religions together like beads on a string. And this prayer that Baba had dictated is all the names that the people throughout the world call God. And so it's inclusive of all the religions and all the isms. And so this is the prayer we'll start with, the Pravartigar prayer. And then we'll have Dr. Gadekar speak. Okay? Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Oh, Parvartigar.
Oh, Parvartigar, the preserver
and protector of all. You are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are indivisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere. You are in everything, and you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest, on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds, and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible.
And then for the attributes, you are the Trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the ancient one, the highest of the high.
You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the beyond God and the beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yezdan, Ahura Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Izzat, the only one worthy of worship.
I think we forgot a couple of things.
Okay, let's stop. Please see that. Let's just start. It's on YouTube.
Okay, so here we go. You get out of the way. Sit over here.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
So before we start, I request all to join in this another prayer of chanting of Baba's name. See, this is the chanting which was given by Baba to his mandali in the early days, and these are the names of God. And please listen to it once or twice, then you will know the tune and you can join in chanting along with me. So we chant for 7 times. So you can listen 1 or 2 times, then the rest of the times you can join along with me. Om Parabrahma Paramatma Meher Baba Om Parabrahma Paramatma Meher Baba 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 Om Meher Baba. Om Parabrahma Paramatma Meher Baba. Jai Baba.
Well, I've never heard that, never, in all these years. Tell the story of it.
Yeah.
Who chanted it?
This chanting was recommended by Baba, and that was in the late 40s. Baba went in the new life, and then during the new life, he had asked the mandali to chant his name, and he has designated the people also. And during that period, this chanting was given. And Baba would say that when you chant my name, it has got tremendous energy. It has got tremendous spiritual energy. If the name is chanted by one person, the energy will be X amount. But if it is chanted by 10 people, the energy will be 10 times more.
Wow.
So therefore, as many people as are there in the congregation, if they chant this prayer, then it amounts to the collective spiritual energy of the chanting of the name of the Lord by all those who participate in that. So this is the power of that prayer. And it has been my practice that before I start anything to talk about Baba or to share about Baba's glory, then it is my habit to invite people and request people to join me in the chanting of his name. And that is the powerful chanting given by the people, by Baba himself.
Do you know if Baba had the men and women chant that, or do you think it was mostly the men mandali? Or, I mean, I don't remember the women ever talking about that.
No, I don't remember either. I don't remember whether Baba gave this chanting specifically for the men or also for the women. I don't remember that. But I do remember that this was the prayer that was chanted, and that is, one can see from one's own experience that how much elevated one feels after we chant this thing.
Yes.
And so therefore, now we embark on the journey of sharing the glory of Baba. I am so grateful to beloved Baba that he gave me the opportunity to be a part of the glory, to be a witness to the glory. Since my very early childhood, or perhaps even before that, because my parents were Baba lovers, and my father actually came in Baba's contact way back in 1923, and my grandfather before that, about 1922 or so. So the connection was there, and then as a matter of fact, the marriage of my parents was indicated by Baba and approved by Baba. And not only that, Baba was present at the wedding ceremony of my parents. So I do not know. If you will ask me when did I see Baba for the first time, then my answer will be that I do not remember when I saw Baba for the first time. Maybe my mother went for Baba Darshan because she also came in Baba's contact since 1928. And maybe when I was in the belly of my mother, she went for Baba Darshan, and then she had Baba Darshan, and along with my mother, I took Baba Darshan. I do not know. I do not recall. I do not have that memory. But I do have memories from early childhood. Say about from 1939 onwards. So from the period of 1939 till the time that Baba had dropped body. So that was the blessing that was given by the Master, so that I could be present at many of the events which testify the glory of the Lord. And there is a saying in Hindi that Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. That means the Lord is great, but His stories are even greater. So that is the saying in Hindi. So we start on the journey of sharing the glory of the Lord. And I do not know where can I start or how can I start, because it's so much of memories rush to my mind. But nevertheless, I'll share a few with you all today. And with Baba's grace, it so happened that many of the major events in Baba's ministry, I was present there before Baba, in front of Baba, as a child, as a student, and as a grown-up man, and then thereafter as a professional and like that. So entire this, whatever little life I could have, and I am so grateful to Baba for giving me this opportunity. So we start from the beginning in the sense that as I said, my father he came in Baba's contact way back in 1923, and his name was Ramchandra Gadekar, and he belonged to Ahmednagar, and he was from a poor family, and the family was so poor that they had great difficulty in making two ends meet. And this young boy, Ramchandra, he was born in the family, and he was interested to educate himself. And imagine the condition about 100 years back in this nondescript town of Ahmednagar, full of dust and squalor and so on. So he wanted to pursue the schooling, and then he was struggling even to pay for the fees, but somehow his parents could manage and put him to the school. And when he was about to graduate from the high school, he had some health issue. He had stomach ache, and that stomach ache was bothering him for many months. It bothered him, and he went to so many doctors and this Ayurvedic doctors and Unani doctors, and there was no relief from the pain. He even went to some spiritual masters and begged for this relief from this pain in the stomach, but there was no relief. Somebody told him that not far from Ahmednagar, there is a Sadguru by name Meher Baba, and Meher Baba is a very well-known Sadguru. So why don't you go to that Sadguru and tell him about the pain in your stomach? Perhaps by his grace you will get rid of that pain. And then he said, okay, since I have tried so much, let me try this also. So probably one fine morning, he along with the friends, they started to come to Mehrabad on the bicycle probably. And probably it was Thursday. And those days, every Thursday, Baba would have this darshan program in Lower Mehrabad, in the Mandali Hall. Now, where Dharmashala is there, that was the first Mandali Hall. And in that Mandali Hall, Baba would give darshan during those days. I am talking about 1923, that year. And Baba was speaking. He had not started his silence. And every Thursday there would be the meeting in the Mandali Hall. And they would come for Baba darshan. And Baba's name was already spreading in the surrounding areas. And they would come for his darshan from Pune, from Ahmednagar, from Bombay, and from other places. And there would be a sizable crowd. They would come from surrounding villages also, like Arangao. So they came, this young boy and his friends, they came for Baba darshan. Probably they might have carried some garland and some sweets to lay at the feet of the master. And then when they reached Mehrabad, there was a big crowd. And they went inside the hall, and then there Baba was sitting in his splendor and his beauty and his glory. And how can I describe that beauty of Baba? Before he started his silence, and his face was so radiant, and he would speak and he would give discourses every Thursday. And they went for the darshan. There was the queue, and this boy joined the queue. And when this turn came, they had Baba darshan. When my father Ramchandra went for Baba darshan, then Baba blessed him. And then Baba looked at him, and Baba said to him, "What do you want?" And Ramchandra, who was barely about 19 years of age, he said, "Baba, I want God realization."
Not my stomach, but God realization.
And Baba looked at him for a moment, and he said, "What did you say? Say it again." And he said, "Baba, I want God realization." Then Baba looked around to the people who had gathered up, and he said that this boy wants God realization. And he asked him, "You want God realization? Do you know what is God realization?" He said, "No, Baba, I do not know what is God realization." Then Baba asked, "If you do not know what is God realization, then how is it that you have asked me the question that you want God realization?" He said that, "Baba, I do not know. The words just escaped from my mouth. That I want God realization." Then Baba again looked at him and looked at the crowd and said to him that, "Ramchandra, look, since you have asked me that you want God realization, and since you do not know what is God realization, I shall tell you what is God realization."
And gave discourse.
And then he gave the discourse. And that discourse was the divine theme. And that began with the first soul drop. And that began with the infinite ocean. And the curiosity of that drop, that soul drop, to know, who am I? Koham. Koham. That Sanskrit word meaning who am I? And then the drop soul, it begins to get consciousness. And then it begins to evolve. And then the process of evolution, Baba was explaining. And then the process of evolution from the inanimate to the animate world, the vegetables and the animate world, and the worms and the fish, and the reptiles and the birds, and then eventually the mammals, and then the increase of consciousness along with each life cycle, and then eventually the evolution of the human consciousness and the birth of that soul as a man, as a human being. And that is the point when the consciousness is evolved to the maximum degree. And then during the human life cycle, the cycle of birth and death, 8,40,000 times. 84 lakhs of times in each.
8,400,000 lifetimes.
So, and then with the grace in the human form, with the grace of Sadguru, the soul enters the spiritual path. And with the help of the Sadguru and with the guidance of Sadguru, the soul progresses further. And finally, he crosses different planes. And then on the seventh plane, he sees God in himself. He sees God in everywhere. Sees God with his gross eyes. And before that, Baba had explained the different worlds, gross world and the subtle world and the mental world. And then, and the seventh plane, that's the stage of God realization. And that is God realization, Baba said. And then he looked at him and he said, now you know what's God realization. And it went on like that. So he was there along with Baba throughout the day. And in the afternoon it was time to depart. And everybody was leaving there. And again there was a queue for taking Baba darshan. And then again Ramchandra stood before Baba. Baba was sitting like that and Ramchandra was here. And then again Baba again asked Ramchandra, now you tell me, what is the purpose of coming here? Why did you visit me today? And then he remembers, oh, I wanted to ask Baba about my stomach ache. So he asked Baba. And he said to Baba that I am troubled by the stomach ache and I do not know. I have tried so many times and so many places and with so many persons and so many different systems of medicine, but of no relief. Baba looked at him and said, don't worry. Baba said, you take these medicines. And he told him to take those medicines. And this young boy returns back and he takes the medicines. And then, lo and behold, the stomach pain vanishes. And he did not have any stomach pain throughout his entire life.
Wow.
That is how the master works. Then, he wanted to study further, but there was no money because the family was so poor. But his fees were paid for the college. And who paid the fees? Meher Baba.
Oh.
So Meher Baba, he financed the education of Ramachandra and saw that he gets through the college and becomes a graduate from the college. And by that time, it was about 1925, 26 or so, 26. And Baba started the silence on 10th of July 1925. And the family became closer to Baba, grew closer and closer to Baba. By the time Ramchandra was already married, he was married hardly when he was 20 or so. And he had parents. And then the Hazrat Babajan school was opened and he was a graduate. And Baba needed to appoint teachers in the school, Hazrat Babajan school. And Baba appointed Ramchandra Gadekar as a teacher in Hyderabad, in Hazrat Babajan school.
Wow.
So when he was appointed as a teacher in Hazrat Babajan school, naturally he had to live here. And when he had to live here, the entire family had to live here. So the family came and they were given a corner in the post office building. And in that corner of post office building, the family of Ramachandra Gadekar, that is his wife, and the parents, and they were living. That was about 1926 or so, 26, 27. And at that period of time, the master gave him the order he gave him certain orders. Out of those orders, there was one order which was to observe celibacy. And he was already married. He had a wife. And a few months after the marriage. And then the master gave him this order. So Ramchandra began to follow this order. And he remained celibate. And the family was there. And the young wife was there. Like Ramachandra, she was also an educated girl. And she was also devoted to Baba. Every morning she would go and gather the flowers from the surrounding trees and make a garland for Baba. Floral garland and put it. But because of this order, there was a lot of tension between the newlyweds. Because though married, they could not live as a married couple because of the order of the master. And this went on for many months. And Ramachandra was obeying the master, whereas that young girl was under stress because she could not. She may have had dreams of very happy married life, but those dreams could not be materialized. And then she began to worry. And then she began to think about it. And she began to brood. And she began to blame herself for her misfortune. And she went into a state of depression. In spite of that, he was following the orders. And this depression increased. It increased to such an extent that she began to get seizures. And in that seizures, she would become uncontrollable. And in one of those days, when the seizure was extreme, she came out of the post office building, ran across the road, and there was a well, and she jumped into that well and committed suicide.
Did anyone see her? No one saw her jump in the well, huh?
Pardon me?
Nobody saw her jump into the well.
Maybe in the evening time, maybe night time. We do not know. We do not know those details. But
was it the well right
jumped.
by the saint's tomb? Or is it the one that's up the hill?
Maybe, I do not know. That's what I recollect. You are right, Judy. Maybe that well. Maybe. So, she jumped into the well and Baba was there. And Baba came to know next day. And the body was taken out and was cremated. That was about 1928 or so.
Wow.
And the name of that girl was Yashoda. Yashoda Gadekar, Ramchandra's wife, who committed suicide in Mehrabad. And Baba was there. Baba was there. And the family went through this traumatic experience. But Ramchandra was resigned to Baba's will. And he continued to. Then as Baba would have it, and at Baba was the habit of Baba, he wound up Babajan school. And the teachers were free to go wherever they wanted. To Ramchandra, Baba said, that what do you want to do? He said that I want to study further. Though I am a graduate, I want to study postgraduates. I want to do post-graduation. Baba said, very good. So he shifted to Pune and he joined the Ferguson College, and from there he did the post-graduation in education. That was around 1928 or so. But connection with Meher Baba was on there. It was firmly rooted. So wherever he would go to his friends, he would tell about Meher Baba. And there was a bunch of young boys and girls, his friend circle, and he told them about Meher Baba in Pune. And they said that, tell us about Meher Baba. So he told them about Meher Baba. By that time, Baba was already well known, and he was known for his activities, and his activities in Arangao because the boarding and the school and the dispensary and so on and so forth. So he said that the boys and girls, they said that we want to meet Meher Baba. Let's go for Baba Darshan. And the bunch was engaged they were going to college, and they were also engaged in social activities. They would go in the slums and teach the boys and girls of the slums in the night time. They would run night school in the slums in Pune. So about 6-7 boys and 3-4 girls. They had an urge to come to Meherabad and have Baba Darshan. And they came along to Baba, along with Ramachandra, who was the person who was instrumental in bringing them. So they came for Baba Darshan. By that time, the ashram was established and the mandali was there, and the school and the structures were coming up, and Baba would also live in Upper Meherabad. So, this bunch of young boys and girls comes and they take Baba Darshan. And because Ramchandra brought the bunch to Baba, it was his duty to introduce. Like Judy introduced me to you. Of course, I don't deserve that introduction. But Ramchandra introduced. So, and telling. And there was turn of one girl. And when that girl bowed down to Baba, Baba blessed that girl. And then Baba looked at that girl. And then Baba looked at Ramchandra. And then Baba said that both of you will make a good pair. So he gave that indication that both of you will make a good pair. Baba was observing silence. He was using the alphabetical board. And through that he made this statement. And when they heard this thing, they were taken aback because they had never expected this statement of Baba, particularly the girl. So they went back to Pune. Now, what happens in Pune? Ramchandra is from a poor family. The girl whom Baba indicated, she was from a very rich family. So, there is social chasm between the two. Not only that, Ramchandra was a widower. He had lost a wife. So also the girl was very unfortunate. She was a widow. She was married at the age of 9 and became widow after 3 months of marriage. So she was a child widow. And during those days, of now 95 years back, in Pune, Orthodox city, what would be the state of widows and the child widows? They would be ostracated by the society. They would be ridiculed and abused. And there were so much restrictions on them. In spite of that, that girl was interested to study and she was pursuing her education. But she belonged to a rich family. And Ramchandra was from a poor family. So, and here is the master who gives the order, both of you will make a good pair. Now it was a dilemma. What should they do? Then they were discussing this matter. And they discussed for many days. And finally they said that since it is the indication given by the master, whatever happens, we shall get married. So they decided to get married. But there was opposition. Not from the boys' side, but from the girls' side. Because they were very wealthy, high status in the family, in the society. And the brothers were against. One of the brothers was a wrestler. He said that I will see how you get married. I will break his head. So, what is to be done? Big problem. How to follow the order of the master. So they decided that we are going to get married at any cost. But we shall not get married in Pune. We shall get married somewhere else. Where shall we get married? We shall get married to Ahmednagar. Very fine. So, they came to Ahmednagar. Not together, but separately, in two batches. The boy came, and then afterward the girl came along with a friend. And then they met in Ahmednagar. They went and met in Ahmednagar, and there, in that ancestral house, that poor house of the Gadekar family in Ahmednagar, this wedding ceremony was performed. And that was 1930. And who was present for the wedding ceremony? Meher Baba himself.
Oh, wow.
Along with the mandali.
Oh, boy.
He told the mandali, get into the bus and come along. So Meher Baba and the busload of mandali, they came from the marriage ceremony. And they were there present. And they were there. Meher Baba was present to bless the newly married couple. Not only that, the newly married couple, they were given sweets by Meher Baba after marriage. Not only that, those who had attended, they were also given sweets. Prasad was distributed by Meher Baba there. What type of marriage it must have been? Just visualize this. So, that girl was Gunatai, my mother. So, when they got married in 1930, then by the time he had already graduated and he had done post-graduation, he was offered a job. But then he joined the job. But connection with Baba was there. Wherever he was posted in Sangamner, not far from this place. And there he organized one darshan program for Baba, 1931. And people came from surrounding areas and they had Baba's darshan. Then the family shifted to Pune. And it is then.
He shifted to Pune with his wife?
Yes, both of them.
And the wrestling brother wanted to smash his head?
No, see, later on when the children were born, then the oppositions softened. When the children were born, then the opposition softened, and then there was no enmity, and there was cordiality. But every time they would say that you take good care of our daughter. So which he did. So they shifted to Pune, and it was during that period, 1931 or so, that Ramchandra came in contact with Upasani. And Ramchandra and his wife, they went to Upasani for his darshan in the ashram. They had a small baby, and they stayed in the ashram for about a week or so, and they were blessed by Upasani. And then again came back. Thereafter, Ramchandra joined the education department, and he was posted in Solapur. And around 1933 or so, Upasani came to Solapur to give darshan. And Ramchandra went for Upasani darshan there. And he requested Upasani, Maharaj, please visit my house. So, Upasani said, yes, I'll come. So Upasani came and visited the house of the Gadekar family.
In Pune? The house in Pune?
Solapur, in Solapur. And that was probably 1931, 32 or so. And when he visited the house, Upasani was sitting like that, and Ramchandra and his wife were sitting at his feet, and his disciple was standing next to him. And Maharaj looks at the disciple and said, अरे तू असं कर, ते आपलं पुस्तक प्रसिद्ध झालं ना, ते पुस्तक घेऊन ये. The book, my biography is recently published. You go and bring that book. he told the disciple. So the disciple went and brought the book to Upasani, and he gave that book in Upasani's hand. Upasani opened that book, he signed that book, and he said, Ramchandra, you take this book.
Wow.
So that was the book, Upasani's biography, signed by Maharaj, which was given to Ramachandra. And that was one of the most prized treasures in the family of Gadekar. Then 1935, 36, the other children were born, the first child, second child, and Digambar was born.
You were second child, third child?
No, first child, then one daughter, my elder sister, and number 3 myself. Number three.
The baby of the family.
And unfortunately, the first child had passed away when he was very small. And then only 2 of us were there. Nalini, my elder sister, and myself. Digambar. We were there. So, then the contact was still there. And Baba, they would visit Baba very frequently at Mehrabad or wherever Baba would go for giving darshan program and having darshan there. So, and Baba was very fond of children. You know that he liked children very much, and he liked children so much that he would love the children, and he would pick the children and put in his lap. So when I was a child, I was a very fat child. I still am very fat now.
No.
So he would pick up Digambar, who was a fat child, and put Digambar in the lap. And he would play with Digambar. He would tickle Digambar, he would twist his cheek, he would twist his ear, and he would kiss him on the left cheek and the right cheek, and so on and so forth. And he would play with Digambar. And not only me, but with my sister also, Nalini. And different games, like, making the movement of fingers like this, or then game like this, like this.
Is that the Itsy
Like
Bitsy
this.
Spider?
Yeah,
Yes.
that one. And this one, this game. You would play with us and ask us to do that. See, and then when we would fail, he would laugh at our cost. So, in a way, we grew up in Baba's love and Baba's atmosphere, and that because father was totally devoted to Baba. And what happens then?
Soon we change tape here. Should we do that now? Change the tape?
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got to change the
don't,
tape.
Don't stop it.
I'm not stopping anything.
Okay.
Papa?
Just tell.
Listen, we can't sing. Let's take a break.
Because we already know we are a team.
We're still recording as well.
She's just taking a break. She just did that. Where's my tea?
The recording continues to upload on YouTube later, but now we have break for a few minutes. Jay Bob.
Zora, help me do this so I can do it faster.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Like that. Okay. And then like this. And then like this. And then.
So,
That's why the other camera, the thing.
A minute while we're changing this tape. I turned this one down. When you're finished, I'll turn it back and then I'll tell you the story. But for right now, it's not picking up what we're saying.
Very boring.
No, it's wonderful. No, not at all. No. Not boring at all.
Oh, no. No, not boring.
Oh, people go to sleep when I talk.
No.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
So let's go ahead further. And 1939, the family was in Solapur, and I was hardly about 3 years or so. And then one letter was received from Meherabad, from Meher Baba. It was not from Meherabad, but it was from Bangalore. And that letter was sent by Baba to my father, Ramchandra. And in that letter it was written that, dear Gadekar, Baba is inaugurating shortly the Meher Baba Universal Spiritual Center at Bairamangala. And he is going to lay the foundation stone. And a lot of people are expected to come. And Sir Mirza Ismail, the Diwan of Hyderabad, is also expected. And you, being a member of the mandali, do not need a special invitation, needless to say. So Baba will be very happy if you come along with the family. So when this letter was received, the entire family was jumping with joy. And we went to Bairamangala, near Bangalore. And that was the event of the inauguration of the Bairamangala Center, November 1939. And then I recall Baba coming there along with all the men and women mandali, and this event of the inauguration of that Mayor Spiritual Center. And during that time, this Baba led the groundbreaking ceremony, and he had that axe made of 7 metals, and he struck the ground with that axe, indicating the groundbreaking ceremony for the center. That was 1939, November.
That axe with the 7 metals, was that made special for Baba?
Specially made for Baba, because it is prescribed in the Hindu scriptures that when you make such an auspicious ceremony, you have to have an axe which is specially prepared and which is made up of 7 metals. So that is still there in Bairamangala. You can go and have a look at it.
The axe is there.
Yeah.
Do you know what the metals are? The 7 metals?
Probably gold and silver and copper and iron and tin and like that, brass maybe, like that. So 7 metals are there. Saptadhatu. Saptadhatu. Saptadhatu is Sanskrit word meaning 7 metals. So that is you all know that the design of the center was made by Baba, the architectural design and different cells and this. Now that center has come up. I also recall another interesting incident. The women mandali at that time, they requested Baba that they would like to see this Brindavan garden. There is a beautiful garden nearby in Mysore. There is a beautiful garden, and that garden is having this lot of fountains, and this entire garden and the fountains, they are illuminated at night. So the women mandali had heard about that, and they had told Baba that Baba, we would like to go and see the Vrindavan gardens. Baba said, okay, let's go. So all the women mandali and the men mandali and all including our family went along with Baba to Vrindavan gardens. And I still recall Baba walking through the garden and the bushes and the trees and the flowers and the fountains sprouted and the whole thing lit up nicely. I remember 1939, and I was holding Baba's finger. I was hardly 3, and Baba was dragging me, or maybe I was running around with Baba.
You remember it?
Yes, I still recall that incident. Yes, one of the earliest memories.
How old were you said when it? Oh my gracious, 3. Oh.
I was a small kid.
Uh,
Then, thereafter, my father had an opportunity in the meantime to go abroad. Even earlier memory, I do not have, but it is mentioned. Earlier memory is that in the previous year or so, 1937 or 38, my father got a scholarship from the government to study abroad because he was interested to improve his qualification, and he got admission in the University of Edinburgh, Scotland. So he was to go to Scotland, and at that time we were too young. I was hardly about 1.5 years or so, or 2 years maybe, and then my sister was about 5-6 years old, and my mother. And he got a chance to go. So he went to Baba and asked, Baba, I got the chance, I got the admission, may I go to Scotland? Baba said, go, don't worry, go. Oh, Baba gave permission to him to go, but my mother began to worry. She began to worry. And she said to Baba, Baba, you are asking him to go to Scotland and he will go there and study for 2 years, maybe, or 3 years. I do not know how long he will remain there. And I shall be left alone here. And I am only myself. And these 2 small children are there. And I have to raise the children. I don't mind raising them. But Baba, I have got one doubt and one worry is there. I heard that these women in Scotland are very fair. And if he goes and he falls in love there with some women, then I will be left high and dry here. And he will remain there. Then Baba looked at her and Baba said, Gunatai, do not worry. My mother's name, Gunatai. Gunatai, don't worry. My nazar will be on him. I shall be watching him. That is what Baba said. So she was comforted. And it was time for him to sail. Because that time no aircraft. We had to go by the ship. So they came to Bombay. The family came to Bombay. with this Ramchandra and his wife and his two toddlers. And the ship was docked. And he told to wife that, Gunata, you want to see the ship? How people live there and how they travel and all that. Yes, come on, I'll show you the ship. So he took the family on board the ship which was docked and which was going to sail next day. SS Strathnover. So, and he showed this deck where all the people are there, they live. And the dorms where there are many people are there. And there are cabins where rich people, high class people, wealthy people stay. So he showed all of them. And he said, there is a cabin and very wealthy people travel and live in the cabin, in this cabin, and they travel to Europe. You want to see the cabin? Yes. She said, yes, I want to see. So he opened the door and went inside the cabin. And who was in the cabin? Meher Baba. Baba was traveling by the same ship to Marseille.
Wow. Marseille? Is that?
Yeah, Marseille in France. So
That's very
that was July. July. And that was 31st of July, 1939. So the family was there and had Baba Darshan there. And it was the best present for young Digambar. It was the best birthday present for him. Because that was his birthday. One of my earliest birthday presents. So, and then Baba looks at Gunatai and said, Gunatai, do you remember? What did I say? My nazar will be on him. I will watch him. So she was doubly comforted. And then the next day the ship sailed. Baba, Ramchandra Gadekar. And they travelled together. And he was leaving the shores of the country for the first time, coming from the poor family, didn't know anything. Only English he knew, but the manners and all that. So, how to eat with a knife and fork? Big problem. So, who taught the stable manners to Ramchandra? Meher Baba on the ship. How to hold the fork, how to hold the knife.
Oh, because he was going to Scotland, he would need that.
Yeah. See how the master and how in detail the master takes care of the disciple. And he got down from the ship at Marseille and he went further to London and from London to Edinburgh. And he studied there. And after studying in Edinburgh, he came back. And when he came back from studying Edinburgh, he had high qualification, and the government was very pleased with him. And the government gave him a job as an officer. They made him an officer in the education department and posted him in Solapur, 1939-40 or so. And the children were growing. And there he started again Baba's work. Because wherever he would go and wherever he would posted, wherever he would meet people, he would talk only about Baba. And he would tell about Baba. And he had the pamphlets and he would distribute the pamphlets and Baba's pictures. He would keep in the bag and distribute and tell them. So that is how gradually people started to know about Baba and they were coming to Baba through Ramchandra Gadekar. And Baba, they established one center in our own house, Baba Center, and where regular Baba meetings. And Baba's birthday would be celebrated in February. So during those days, Baba was here in Mehrabad. And Baba's birthday would be celebrated all over India, different places like Pune, Solapur, Bombay, Ahmednagar, Madras, Delhi, and so on and so forth. And there were different Baba groups, though small, and they would celebrate Baba's birthday. And Baba was very keen to know how different groups, they celebrate Baba's birthday. As if he didn't know. He is the omniscient. He knew everything. But yet, to please the disciples, what would he do? He would send the mandali. He would send Pendu to one place. He would send Padri to another place. He would send Dr. Gani to third place. He would send Dhake to another place. And so on. He would send Adi to third place. Rest was not there. I am talking about 1940 to 43. And they would go and attend the function. And they would come back to Mehrabad. And then Baba would ask them the report. You tell how was the birthday celebrated in Madras. You tell how was the birthday celebrated in Bombay. And what about Pune? Huh? And what about Solapur? Like that. And during the year 1943, Dr. Ghani was asked to attend the birthday celebration in Solapur, which was organized by my father, Ramchandra Gadekar. And when Dr. Ghani came back here to Mehrabad, and all the mandali were to giving his report, and it was turn of Dr. Ghani. Dr. Ghani, તમે બોલો શું છે? What happened? बाबांचा बर्थडे तिथे कसं सेलिब्रेट झाला सांगा ना तुम्ही. Baba was asking how Baba's birthday was celebrated in Solapur. And Dr. Ghani says, बाबा अहो तुम्हाला काय सांगू मी, अहो असा बर्थडे मी बघितलाच नाही, काय टोलेजंग बर्थडे केला. I have never seen such a birthday celebration. Oh, on what a grand scale, and how many people, and how loving people, and what music Baba, and what kawali Baba. And such nice music I never heard. And Gadekar took so much trouble, and he is now a big officer, and all his staff is working for celebration. And I have never seen such celebration. So when Dr. Ghani said like this to Meher Baba in Mirazar in the month of February, Baba said, Dr. Ghani, tell me, are you telling the truth? Because I know sometimes you just, Baba said, yes, I swear, I tell you the truth. Then Baba said, okay, Dr. Ghani, since you are telling me that he had done birthday celebration in such a grand manner, I am very pleased. And now I have decided that I should go to Solapur and give my darshan to Solapur. So, 1943, in the month of March, this program was fixed. And before that, the letter was received in the month of February that Baba is visiting Solapur in the month of March and make nice arrangement for him. And Baba is visiting Solapur along with the 40 members of mandali. So find a suitable place for him so that he can stay comfortably for a few days there. So he began the search for a big place for Baba. 40 people staying and for Baba. So many places were seen. Finally, they zeroed in one place. That is a big bungalow. Big bungalow belonging to a very wealthy doctor in Solapur. The name of that doctor was Dr. Kotnis. And Dr. Kotnis was a very well-known physician. And he was a doctor who had been to China. And he treated the Chinese soldiers who were injured in World War I. So he was decorated by China. And he, of course, eventually he married a Chinese girl and settled in China. But his property was there, big bungalow, Dr. Kotnis' bungalow. And his sisters were staying. And that bungalow was vacant. So Ramchandra goes and asks his sisters that Meher Baba wants to come and we would like to rent this bungalow. Baba said, rent it for 1 month. For 1 month, and he would be staying. So we request you to give the bungalow on rent to Meher Baba for 1 month. The sister said, no problem. Okay, we give it on rent. So that bungalow was fixed. And that was a huge bungalow. Did any one of you see Guru Prasad?
Yeah. Yes.
When it was actually
Yes.
existing.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is a mini edition of Guru Prasad. That bungalow was just like a smaller Guru Prasad. Huge bungalow and huge courtyard where hundreds of people can be accommodated. And now Guru Prasad is no more. Only that small memorial is there. But the real glory has gone. But this bungalow is still intact. This bungalow, if you go to Solapur, you can see that bungalow. So, that bungalow was hired for 1 month. And it was informed to Baba. And Baba came. Baba came by the train, along with all 40 members of the mandali. Via dawn, he came to Solapur. And Solapur, at the railway station, we were there to receive Baba. The whole family and other, because my father being the big officer in the education, he is district education officer. He was in charge of the education of the entire district of Solapur. All the schools and colleges and their funding and granting and appointments and so on and so forth. So we had a lot of staff, and his teachers also would come. They would come and help for Baba's program. So Baba was received and brought to the bungalow. And Baba went around and see the big bungalow, big hall. About 200, 300 people 500 people can sit in that hall. And then 2 big rooms next to the hall. In each room about 20, 30 people can stay. And upstairs, total one room, very nice room is there upstairs. So Baba's arrangement was made upstairs. And the mandali's arrangement was made in 2 adjacent rooms, adjacent to the hall. And all the 40 people and Baba were accommodated, very comfortable. And my mother Gunatai, before Baba's arrival, she went to the market, purchased the new bed and the new mattresses and the new, bed sheets, silk bed sheets and silk pillow covers, specially, and decorated Baba's room and all that. And during Baba's stay there for 3-4 days in that bungalow in Solapur, Baba and 40 members of the mandali, breakfast, lunch and dinner and tea, all the meals she cooked by her own hand, and that would be sent to Baba. And Baba liked her food so much. Baba would always admire her food. Tell to her that, Gunatai, I love the food cooked by you. So, and we were small, just the children, small children. So, Baba's next day, early morning, darshan program started 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30. Baba and the mandali came and sat in the hall, and all the people coming for Baba's darshan. They came from all over Solapur and adjacent villages, because before that lot of propaganda and handbills were printed and loudspeakers and going through all the cities and lanes and bylanes, telling Meher Baba is coming, Meher Baba is coming, Meher Baba is coming, and giving darshan program. And they came since the morning, the stream of people. The young came and the old came, and the rich came and the poor came, and the Hindus came and the Muslims came, and the Parsis came, and the Sikhs came, and the healthy came, and the patients came, ailing ones, they came. And one of his staff members, he was a scout teacher, scout, boy scout, girl scout. So he was a scout master. So he brought all the scouts and the girl guides with the scarf, and they were standing in queue for Baba's darshan. And the program went on, and the hall was filled to the capacity, and hundreds of people waiting outside. No people can be accommodated inside the hall. What is to be done? And Ramchandra was perspiring. How to control these people? They want to come inside. There is no room in the hall, packed like sardines. And then Baba smiled. Baba said, stop it. Now, more people have come and they cannot be accommodated in the hall. So, I come outside the hall and I sit in the veranda. So take out lift my sofa and put it in the veranda. And in front of veranda there is a huge garden. Thousands of people can accommodate in the garden. And all of them were there. And when Baba's sofa was brought there and Baba sat on the sofa, the thousands of people, what did they say? Sadguru Meher Baba ki Jai. They shouted like that. Thousands of people. Because Baba had not declared as avatar. And the darshan program went on. Throughout the day it went on. Baba distributing his prasad with his hands. And they are coming in streams. And the young and the old and the men and women and Baba caressing them and giving them his blessing. It went on. Now in Solapur, there is an old temple of Shiva. And that temple, the Lord Shiva is the deity of the town. In India, each village has a deity. So for Solapur, that was the deity, Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva's temple was there. Trustee of that temple had come. And he was in the queue. So after he was given prasad, he was waiting there with folded hands. Baba said, what do you want? Baba, I am very thankful you have given the prasad. I am very grateful. Why are you standing? Baba, I have got a request. What is the request? Baba, I request you to visit the Shiva temple. Baba said, yes, I shall visit. Okay. So, after the program was over, the program by 5:36, it was over. Baba said, stop, band karo. So the program was stopped. And then Baba retired for a while. And after refreshing, around 6:30 or so, what Baba says, let us go to Shiva temple. So around 6:30, all of us went to the Shiva temple. That incident I remember very vividly. And we went to the Shiva temple. I was just a toddler, small boy, hardly 7-8 years old. And my sister Nalini, and my father and mother. And then it was evening time. And that temple is located in such a way, you can even go and see today. It's located in a lake. There's a big lake. Inside the lake, at the center, there is this temple. And this temple is an ancient temple, thousands of years old, and made of solid stone. Lord Shiva's idol, that phallus is inside, pinned. Shiva's pinned is there. And it was evening time. It was time for the arati. And the priest had prepared a plate. And he was about to start the arati of Lord Shiva. And the plate was in his hand. And in that this lamp was lighted for waving in front of God. You know how arati is performed with a lighted lamp, oil lamp. This brass lamp. So, Baba was standing in the temple. And he looked at the priest. And he said, you give me that plate. And he took the plate in his own hand. He took the plate in his own hand, and with his own hand he performed the Arati of Lord Shiva. And when the Arati was over, it was about 7 o'clock or so, and then Baba said that today Lord Shiva is performing his own Arati with his own hands. Now this incident is not recorded at all. It is not in Lord Mayor, only I know this because I was a witness to that. And this I am sharing with this because I said that we should share the glory of Lord. How must that atmosphere be? Evening time and the glow of the oil lamps and the temple, ancient temple, and Lord Shiva and Meher Baba performing the Arati of Lord Shiva. That was one of the most memorable incidents.
And that temple you said was thousands of years old?
Thousands of years old. It is still there existing.
Wow.
It is still Solapur.
Oh, do they know
And the
when
temple
the
of
temple
Lord
was
Shiva.
built?
Pardon me?
Do they know when the temple was
Oh,
built?
the temple was built somewhere in the 10th century or so. 10th or 11th century. Yes. And it is said that that idol is very powerful, lot of having spiritual energy. That Shiva temple. So, that program was over. And they had come from all over. Next year, 1944, another Baba's program was arranged in Nagpur. And again the letter came to Ramchandra that please come with the family for attending Nagpur Darshan program. So, yes, and before, now this Solapur Darshan program, next day Baba went to Barshi, nearby villages, and third day some another village. And after 3-4 days, Baba went back. And when he was about to leave, we went to the railway station to see Baba off. And Baba was in the compartment along with 40 members of mandali. And then my mother had cooked the meal, evening meal for all of them, and we gave the meal to Baba and the mandali. Then at that time there in the compartment, Baba said that Gadekar, I am very happy. You and Gunatai have made my excellent arrangements during my stay in Solapur. And I am very happy with you. Gadekar, I am proud of you. And he embraced Ramchandra, he embraced Gunatai, he embraced Nalini, and he embraced Digambar. And he kissed the children and all of them. And then the letter was received that since the rent has been paid for 1 month and since Baba has stayed for only 3-4 days, Gadekar, you go and shift in the bungalow. Because we were staying in a small chawl, small 1-room apartment. So from 1-room apartment, we shifted in the bungalow. And after just when 1 month was about to expire, another letter from Baba, extend the rent period, extend the lease for 1 year.
Oh boy.
So for 1 year, we stayed in that bungalow. And for 1 year, who paid the rent? Meher Baba. So in other words, we were tenants of Meher Baba for 1 year. See how the Lord is. And the most interesting part is, just about the end of the period of 1 year, it was to end by the end of March. And in the first week of March, Ramchandra receives a letter from the government that you are transferred to Solapur, you are transferred from Solapur to Ahmednagar, and you have to take charge in Ahmednagar on 1st of April. See the timing, the perfect timing. 31st of March the lease was to be ended, and 1st of April he has to report there on transfer. Now, who else can do such a timing? Perfect timing to the precision. So this is the beauty of Meher Baba. So the family shifted to Ahmednagar. And in 1944, big program was organized in Nagpur by Dr. Deshmukh. And during that program, this one picture was taken, and I want to share this picture.
Oh, let's see. Can I put it up close? Judy, can you tell me?
Can you see the picture?
Oh wait, my finger is in the...
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah, you got to show it to Bevan too.
Okay.
You can give it to Bevan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
In this picture, you can see Baba seated at the center, and see his beauty. Baba's hair flowing like this, and his face so much radiant and resplendent. And what beauty! I cannot describe that beauty of Baba's form, the physical beauty of Baba, the celestial beauty. And I cannot describe how beautiful Baba looked. Have a look at that picture.
Yeah. Here.
It's beautiful. I'm going to look at it closely also.
Yeah, where are you, Digambar?
Oh, you find out. Don't ask me.
What year? 1944?
This is 1944.
So like you were what?
Yes, this
10
is
or 12?
Ramchandra and this is Digambar.
Where am I? Am I there?
This is Ramchandra, this is Digambar.
Oh no.
Who?
This is a girl. Am I a girl? Am I a girl?
No, it's so hard in India to recognize when they are
Let
child.
me see. I want to
Oh
see.
my God, he's here! Look at him.
Which one?
Is that you here?
This one? Yes, you are right. 10
Oh.
10 out of 10.
Let me see.
You get A grade.
Girl.
Gatlin.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's me. Yeah, that's me. And my sister is also there, Nalini.
Yeah.
And my mother is there, and my father is there.
Is this picture anyplace else in the book?
This place, this picture may be in the...
And then, is that Gulmai?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Next to Baba,
Yeah.
sitting on the chair is Gulmai.
Oh,
Yeah.
Baba has given the place of honor to Gulmai.
Yeah.
And on Baba's left hand side, another lady is sitting on the chair. On the other side of Baba. One side is Gulmai, and other side there is another lady sitting.
Right. Is that, what's her name? From Upasni?
Godavari?
Godavrimai?
No.
No. Okay, who?
No.
Is that your mother?
Yes.
Your mother.
oh,
Okay.
which one is mine?
That's my mother.
Isn't she pretty?
That's Gulmai.
Yeah.
And there he is.
See how
Where's
much
the
honor
sister?
Baba gave to her.
Uh-huh.
And father
On
is
one
here?
side Gulmai, on the other
Father's
side
here.
my mother.
Let me
And
see the
children are
mother.
sitting.
She's very pretty, right there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
She actually, well, Godavrimai is very beautiful. I met Godavrimai
Oh,
in
She had
1972.
high cheekbones. Very, very,
that's my mother.
Mhm.
very pretty face.
So, see how Baba gave so much respect to the women at that time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
On one side Godavari, on the other side Gunatai.
Mhm.
And my father is standing just behind. Did you see my father?
No.
My
Behind
father
your
is
mother?
also there. My father is there.
Behind Baba?
That one?
Oh no. No.
That one?
Behind
Oh,
your
no,
mother.
no.
It's a behind Baba.
No, that is
Oh,
Adi.
that's Adi.
That's
Now
my
we're going to
father.
see everybody's
That's
back.
my father.
Uh-huh.
That's Ramchandra Gadekar. Next to him is Papa. Papa Jaswal.
Yeah.
Oh.
Say his name.
Oh, Baba Das. Baba Das. Baba Das. He was one of the earlier lovers. He had long hair and he would wear kafni and all that. There is a separate story of him.
Are you sure?
Baba Das. Yes. Baba Das. Yes, Baba Das. Baba Das. Baba Das. Baba Das. So, I thought that I should share this picture with
Thank you, yeah. We really enjoyed.
So I just am giving a time check that we've been filming for an hour and a half. So
Let's go for at least another, let's go as long as till 8:30. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
yeah, another half an hour.
You got plenty of stories. You keep talking, we'll keep
So,
going.
but I want
And then
to,
he has to
but
come back.
No, but-
end with the
No, I don't want to tax you.
You're
end
not taxing us.
end with the story of how your father got God realization.
Oh, this is 1943.
Mhm.
There are still so many stories.
I
No,
know.
we
And
got,
so many-
we still
so
have
many
so
pictures.
much time.
So many pictures.
And we will have you come back, and next time we'll make sure that whatever this problem was, which we've never had before,
Okay.
God willing,
No,
it'll
first
be
you
fixed.
ensure it and then you tell me
Okay.
before I leave Pune.
Well, it was fine.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, we're recording, so why don't we continue with the stories?
Before you leave.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to
No, I
the
was just
talk,
kidding.
please.
Funny.
I was kidding.
And there's Adi Kairani.
I'll tell you, there are so many important people there in that picture. Shall I tell you?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Baba's brother is here. Now, see, you need to know all the people.
No.
Shall I tell one by one?
If
You need
want.
to be around me.
Okay, well, that's it.
You need to
Yes,
be around
please,
me.
yes, I want to know.
Huh. Robin, you like to know?
I'm looking. Go ahead. You tell.
Oh, you have
Starting
to say
where?
Robin, put yours up in front of the camera.
It's the same.
I know, but the people at home can't see.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Go ahead.
This is who?
Tell who it is.
This is one Mr. Bhagat. Now Baba at the center. On one side Gulmai, on the other side Gunatai. Now sitting on the floor. Now this is Nagpur. So Dr. Deshmukh's family is also here.
Where is Dr.
This is Dr. Deshmukh's daughter here, Sanjeevani. She has gone to Baba now. This is Nalini, my elder sister. Nalini.
That man sitting in front of Baba.
That is Jal Bhai, Baba's younger brother.
Oh.
Baba's younger brother, Jal.
Oh yeah, Jal. I saw
Jal.
him.
And this is one Mr. Madan from Solapur, from Pune. And this is Kakabaria here.
Oh.
Kakabaria. And on the next to Kakabaria is the Baba Das with beard. And then next to him is this Gustaji Hansotia. And this is Masa. Extreme left is Masa. Now, these children with the cap, they are this Ganeshi Lal and Shankar Lal. And on this side is Keki Desai, I think, here. And standing behind Baba, from the left, this Dr. Nilu. Can you see Dr. Nilu?
Yeah.
Dr. Nilu. Then next to him, one or two other persons. Then the third person with the suit, black suit. I think he is Justice Bhavani Shankar Niyogi, with the Justice of the Nagpur High Court. He gave public address to Baba. This picture is taken in front of the Senate of the Nagpur University. Nagpur University. This some Swami is there. Then other people. And behind Baba holding the book is Dr. Ghani with the tie. This is Dr. Ghani. Then next to Dr. Ghani on the left hand side is Dr. Daulat Singh. And on the other side. No, not Bhaji.
Bhaji wasn't there yet.
44. 44. Bhaji was not there. No.
No.
And this is Jal Kerawala, extreme white suit. And next to Jal Kerawala is Kekobad. Behind Dr. Ghani is Kekobad. And now on the other side of Dr. Ghani, Adi K. Irani is there. Just behind Gunatai Gadekar. With the pullover, Adi K. Irani is there. Next to Adi K. Irani, my father, Ramchandra Gadekar. Then next to Ramchandra Gadekar is Papa Jassawala.
Yes.
Papa Jassawala. And one sadhu is there. So this is the picture, very rare picture. I thought I should share this.
Yes, very nice
Thank you.
picture.
Yeah,
Very nice picture.
What is it?
Will this go in your book?
Gustaji, correct, Gustaji. Please put it there inside. This one.
Okay, so good.
So, okay, then we stop here.
No, tell the story of because even if we do another talk, some people won't see another talk. They'll only see this talk, and you are leaving them hanging about your father receiving God realization. Tell about when he died and what happened with Baba.
And then go back. And then go back.
Well, another time. Another time you can go back, but if someone only sees this one, then they will be very.
Okay, please continue. Yeah, better than
Please continue.
Would that be okay?
From which point should I continue?
Would you like to come at your
We start with God realization.
God realization. He said, "I want God realization."
Okay.
So did he ever get God realization?
Oh yes, he did.
Okay, how?
He did, but see what happened after this darshan program at Nagpur. That was held in 1944. There were other events like you know what happened? Thereafter, Baba went into the Nagpur Darshan program was unique. Baba went to different places, and afterwards, 1947, India became independent and the British rule was over. A new country was born. And Gadekar, so new government was there. So Gadekar was shifted from Solapur and he was transferred to Pune because the minister was particularly interested in him to give new responsibility to Gadekar. And that was the responsibility to establish the new department of social welfare. So he was made in charge of the social welfare department in Pune and transferred. So in 1947, the family shifted to Pune from Solapur. And since then the family lived in Pune. Then, about 48, this preparations were made for Baba's new life. And 49 Baba joined the new life. He offered, Ramchandra offered to go join the new life because he wanted to spread Baba's name and he wanted to serve the master. Whatever master had ordered to him, he would obey implicitly and he would forget everything when he would talk about Baba. When he would talk about Baba, tears would start rolling down his cheek and he would become so emotional. So in Mehrabad, when the meeting was held and he was asked the option whether he wanted to join the new life or not, Baba had distributed slips and everybody was to sign yes or no, yes or no. So he signed yes, I want to join. And Baba said, yes, why do you want to join? I want to resign from the job and I want to join you. Baba said that I am very pleased with your willingness, but now I tell you, you do not join me in new life. You remain in your job. You remain in Pune. You live your life in Pune, but you live that life as if you are living the new life, as if you are leading the new life. So Baba went on new life, and there he was given certain orders. Baba gave him the order of also observing silence for 1 month when Baba was in new life, which he observed, and he observed silence for 1 month. And his wife, that is my mother, was so much committed to the husband that because the husband was observing silence for 1 month, she also decided I should also observe silence for 1 month. So both husband and wife were silent for 1 month. And we were children, so we thought that we should also give our contributions. But we were in the school, we could not remain absent for a long time. So we decided for 1 week. So 1 week, both the children were silent. So for 1 week, the entire house was totally silent, pin drop silence. And that is how, so gradually then thereafter, this group emerged in Pune, the Pune Bhajan Mandali. The birth of Pune Bhajan Mandali. Madhusudan was brought to Baba. Before Madhusudan, Bal Natu was brought to Baba by him. And so many other people. All the entire Pune group was brought to Baba. And thereafter, even
They were all brought from your father?
yes, he introduced Baba to them.
Jagtap and Pratap.
Pratap, yes.
And all of them, all the ones that play the music. And
Pratap, yes.
Oh,
Pratap and myself in the schoolmates. Same class,
Schoolmates.
same
Oh.
class, same bench, same fighting.
You and Pratap?
Of course. So, and when he was in New Life, Baba called him to Hyderabad, and he called 100 people from old life and new life, and there was big event held in Hyderabad, and big picture photograph was taken. And during that time, Baba said that you spent these 7 days with me in Hyderabad when I am in New Life. These 7 days which you have spent with me in New Life are equivalent to spending 700 years of your life with me. That is what Baba said. Those 7 days spent with me are equivalent to 700 years of you spending life with me.
Wow.
These are the words of Baba. So at that time also photograph was taken. So this is the photograph. That photograph I'll share next time. Then the Baba went this big program in Ahmednagar, Wadia Park Darshan program. Gadge Maharaj came and he invited Baba to visit Pandharpur. So 55, we were here in 54 program, Wadia Park, Ahmednagar. Then again Pandharpur program, we were there. My father was asked to make Baba's arrangement for Pandharpur. We went one week in advance and made all the arrangements in 54. And then the Sahwas programs, 52 Sahwas, 53, 54, 55, 58 Sahwas. All the Sahwas programs we attended. By the time I was in college, and he was already having indifferent health. He developed, cancer. Cancer, my father. Cancer of lymph glands, Hodgkin's disease. And at that time, the only remedy for Hodgkin's disease was to give treatment with X-rays, deep X-rays. And Nalini was in the medical school, so she would take him to the hospital. She was in the final year in the medical school, my elder sister. Baba had asked her to become a doctor.
Oh.
Personal instruction. Nalini, you become I want that you should become doctor. So she became a doctor. So he would be taken to the hospital and then the treatment would be given. He was still in job, hardly 52 years old. 52. And then this pain was there. There would be the glands in the armpits and in the neck, and they would be required to be treated. And sometimes the X-rays would be deep, and they would enter the gland and even the flesh and burn the flesh. Deep X-rays and the injuries and this bandage and this bleeding and pus and so on and so forth. So he was in terrible pain. And then in that pain he wrote to Baba, why so much suffering to me? Zara, he said to Baba, why so much suffering to me? I am spending my entire life for you, and why so much suffering for me? Why so much pain? Is it because I have made some sin in the past life and I am suffering for the sins which I committed in the past life, in this lifetime? Why? So big letter. He wrote to Baba. Baba was in Merathal. And when that letter was read to Baba, Baba was in seclusion. Then Baba gave the reply that Gadekar, it's a very beautiful letter. We have got that letter with us. But I'll tell you in short that Gadekar, do not think, never think that the sufferings and the pain that you are undergoing at present is due to your past sins in the past life. No, it is not so. It is to give you an opportunity to remember Baba more intensely. This is the chance given by Baba to you to remember him. So you remember him, take his name and forget everything. Forget about Gunatai, forget about Nalini, forget about Digambar. Digambar was in the US in Berkeley at that time. 1959.
In Berkeley?
Yeah, hardly 1 month. And he forget about everything. You have done your part. So you do not worry about them. Let them worry about you. That was written in the letter. And Baba knows how much trouble you have taken for spreading his name wherever you are posted and how many people you have brought to Baba. And Baba is very proud of his dear Ramchandra Gadekar. So that letter is there. And so take his name. So that letter came as an inspiration for him and he started taking it.
Sorry.
And during that period,
I'm going to stop you and ask a question. Did you print all these letters between Ramchandra Gadekar and Baba as a book?
yes, that letter will be in the book. We have got that letter.
No, I mean, did you print?
Not print. It is in the process.
Okay.
Process.
Okay.
So,
Because it's not only something personal. It's all answers to people.
yes.
What God is sending.
Yes. So that's a unique letter. So, not only that, Baba invited him to come and visit. Baba in Mirazar for one day. Both husband and wife. So they hired a car and came from Pune to Mirazar. And Baba was in the Mandali hall. And Baba was sitting like that, and Gadekar was sitting here, and Gunatai. And all the Mandali, Bhau and this Eraj and Pendu and Pa, they were there in Mirazar. And then after some time, Baba looked at him and Baba said to Bhau, you take Gadekar outside and take him in the garden. So he was taken outside by Bhau and to show the garden. And Gunatai was left before Baba. And Baba looked at her and Baba told her that, look here Gunatai, Gadekar is going to come to me very soon.
Oh.
And when she heard these words, it was like a bombshell to her. She could not believe. Baba said, do not worry, you serve him. You try to make him as comfortable as possible. And throughout the day, they spent with Baba in Mirazar. And when it was time to go, about 4:30 or so, time to leave Mirabad and to get into the car to come to Pune. As both of them were getting into the car, and as he got inside the car, Baba came outside the Mandali hall, along with all the Mandali, and asked the Mandali to be around the car. And Baba asked the Mandali to say very loudly, Hail to Bhakt Shiromani Gadekar Sahib.
Oh.
Hail to Bhakt Shiromani Gadekar Sahib. Bhakt Shiromani Gadekar Sahib ki Jai. ऐसे बोलो. Baba told all the Mandali, you shout loudly, Bhakt Shiromani Gadekar Sahib ki Jai. So all the Mandali hailed like that. Means Bhakt Shiromani, the crown jewel amongst all the devotees, to hail to him. So you hail. So the Mandali shouted. And he might have felt also, why these Mandali are shouting like this. Nevertheless, they came back to Pune and he began to continue Baba's name. The pain was unbearable. And the doctor said that it is so unbearable pain and you are not getting sleep at night. You must get sleep. So we'll give you sedative. He said, no. Don't give me sedative. If she will give me sedative, I shall fall asleep. And it will be break in taking the name of Baba. Because he was repeating Baba's name. Baba. So, it was the month of March, 1959. And on the 7th of March, it was the day of Lord Shiva, Mahashivratri. And Baba was in Guru Prasad. And he was going to Bombay by car. And he stopped on the way. And he came to our house. And he entered the bungalow. And the car entered. And Baba got down from the car. And my mother and sister went to receive Baba. And the Mandali was also there, Eraj and Pendu and Kakabaria. And they went inside the house and he was resting inside the room. As soon as he saw Baba coming, he got up and he tried to get up. But he was too weak and he was in severe pain. Baba said, do not get up, just lie down. And then Baba asked the Mandali to leave the room. Baba asked Gunata and Nalini to leave the room. In that room, only Baba and Gadekar were there. And Baba stood in front of him. And Baba said, Gadekar, you are very fortunate. Today is the day of Mahashivratri, the day of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is standing himself in front of you. So you take his darshan. So he took his darshan. And then Baba and he were there only in that room for about 5-10 minutes. Nobody knew what happened. And thereafter, Baba left. And my mother ran after Baba. Baba said that, I am leaving now. Then my mother was in tears. Baba said that he is serious. She said she is serious and you are going and I do not know what will happen and I do not know what to do when whatever happens. Baba said that do not worry. I am going to Bombay. Whatever has to happen will happen. But if anything happens, you inform me in Bombay. And I shall tell you what is to be done. That was 7th of March. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. 11th midnight. After 11th midnight, 12th started. And he was taking Baba's name. It was Thursday. And Thursday, this bhajan program was going on. Madhusudan was singing Baba's bhajans in Pune. And Madhusudan was singing the same bhajan which was composed by my father. And 10 minutes after 12, while repeating Baba's name, he dropped the body. And when he dropped the body, there was commotion in the house. Nobody. Only mother and sister. So my sister Nalini, she telephoned to Baba. At that time, no cell phone, no nothing, no direct line, no STD. You have to go to the post office and book the call and wait for the operator. 1959. So the call materialized and then the news was conveyed to Baba. And Baba sent a message that do not worry, whatever has happened, has had to happen, has happened. You perform the last rites according to the Hindu tradition, but you preserve the ashes. And I shall tell you what is to be done with the ashes. So the cremation was done, the ashes were preserved. My mother, she brought this, sandalwood box. In that sandalwood box, she put the ashes and closed it, and then around it, she again stitched with the silk with her own hands and kept that box ready. And in the month of April, letter was received from Baba that on the 6th of April, bring the box of ashes to Mehrabad, and I shall tell you what is to be done. So she boarded the bus and came to Mehrabad, 6th of April 1959, and Baba was in the Mandali hall. And as soon as she came to Mehrabad, and as soon as she was about to enter the Mandali hall, Baba, who was in the Mandali hall, he came out of Mandali hall along with the Mandali, and they met in the veranda. And Baba saw the box in her hand. She was holding that box in the hand. Baba said, "Give me that box." And he took that box in his own hand, Baba. And with that box, Baba and the Mandali and Gunatai, they all walked to the place where the grave was already dug. Mandali's grave. Number 2. The grave was already dug because Baba had already instructed Padre. And when all of them, including Baba, holding that box in the hand, reached that place, then Baba went there and with his own hands he placed the box there. And with his own hand he put the flowers on the box. And he came out of the grave and he stood at the edge of the grave. And all the Mandali were around. Then Baba asked all the Mandali to go and put the flower on that box. Baba asked each and every one of them not only to put the flowers, but to bow down there. So one by one all of them went and bowed down, put the flower and bowed down there. And then all of them were standing. And then Baba said that today Gadekar is free. Gadekar is liberated. Because I have with my own hands placed the ashes of my dear disciple, Gadekar here. There will not be any birth for him again. He will be born after 700 years when I come as the next avatar. And he will come along with me. These are the words of Baba. And that is the story.
Then Dr. Gadekar, in that place that when we are there, it's not all of them, with body. Some of them cremated, right?
Yeah.
I never knew that Dr. Gadekar body is not there.
It's ashes, only ashes.
Yes.
Ashes, placed by Baba himself. And very few Mandali whose Baba himself had done such a thing. And declared such.
Do you know any other Mandali that their ashes are there?
Ashes, Bhauji's ashes are there.
No, Bauji's body, he didn't get cremated.
Bhauji was there.
He gave them.
Body,
He
body.
gave them a choice.
Yes,
Some of them
and
a
this
choice.
leader's bedding is there. Somebody's bedding is there. Hold on. Some belongings are there. Some clothes
You
or something.
didn't
like
talk about your grandfather and the shoes?
some other time,
Yeah.
some other life.
Okay.
So
I
let's
actually
end
had
it.
you on another tape, even one time in at Narazad in Mandali Hall. One time you were sitting there telling the story, and I had my camera in there. Oh, this was, gosh, maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Can we finish this particular tape?
What, he wants to.
Just now the story is over.
No, we're stopping.
You have any question?
Are we gonna quit?
Well, we've been doing an hour and 55 minutes. I think we should
It's okay.
stop soon.
Maybe because he's here from 5 o'clock, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
We'll
we-
just go ahead and stop then, Devin.
So, but this is
You want it,
the
did it
performance.
stop on itself, or should we just say we're quitting?
No, it stopped.
Oh, we need a.
We made a whole tape.
Say, we should say, right, that we're gonna close.
Yes.
Please.
Wait, we wanna say, just a minute, we wanna have this on the tape. Do we want, we're
We don't
gonna
need to
the
say
whole
that.
tape just to say that?
Dear Meher Baba, we are closing the
Maybe not.
meeting today, and hopefully we will meet you 2 weeks later for another meeting with another person. Avatar Meher Baba
Baba
Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Yeah.
And we
Well, let's talk about,
Wait, let me
apologize
just-
what happened.
wait. And we just really want to thank you, Dr. Gadekar,
Oh my,
for
do not
coming.
thank me. Thank Meher Baba.
Digambar Gadekar, such a wonderful talk and such a wonderful guest and such a wonderful person. We are so glad to know you.
My
So-
pleasure is privilege.
And you wanna explain that, a little bit about the YouTube one?
No, because it's
We're going to upload this to YouTube.
We're
Okay.
gonna upload it, okay.
Stop it.
So thank you.
Thank
Dear
you.
Meher Baba.
Avatar,
Meher Baba Ki Jai.